What up, party people? It's your girl DJ Brickhouse from MyMp3Pool, and I am back with another awesome interview for you guys. Today we are here with DJ SugaShay. What up?
Hey, how's everybody?
Oh, I am doing well. How are you?
I am great. I cannot complain.
It is so great to see you. I think I haven't seen you in about 4 years or so since you have made your move from Philly to California. How has everything been going for you here so far?
Everything's been really great. It was interesting moving here. It was sort of something that happened without me really having to think about it. I kind of made the decision to move from Philadelphia to California really quickly, and I expected to have a harder time than I had, and I'm very grateful that it hasn't actually been rough, as I've heard a lot of people have had a rougher experience than I've had. I'm glad it's been a little smooth.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your DJ journey, like before you came here?
Okay, well, I've been DJing for about 10 years, coming up on 10 years now. For me, DJing was something that kind of came super naturally to me, as well as it was almost a surprise that I fell into it. It was recommended to me by a producer who worked with my sister, who's a vocalist. I sat in the studio for a while and we exchanged tracks, and it kind of came up that I had a really interesting taste in music. So he just suggested to me that I should DJ, and I had heard nothing about it. I remember asking him, like, what's a DJ? I had never heard of it before outside of radio, so I was super surprised that someone thought that it was something I could do. And then a couple years into my DJ journey, I guess, I was really more watching than I was doing. Once I finally got my hands on Serato and some turntables, it was a pretty quick transition for me, going from a student to just like, I don't know, kind of throwing myself right into the business and working almost nonstop for about the last 10 years.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've definitely been to some of your parties and they're really fun, and you do have a really interesting taste in music, but that's why I like to come see you, because I know that your set is not going to be like anyone else's set, and it's going to be like fun and it's going to be good, and I'm not going to be able to know what you're going to play next. And that's like cool, because you know some DJs, if they play probably they're gonna play like Let Me Clear My Throat next or something like that. You can kind of gauge where they're going with their set. With you, you're always gonna like surprise us and keep us on our toes. Something I also really liked about you, before I even knew that you were a DJ, I remember sitting down with you at the Raven Lounge when I started DJing, and I couldn't even really DJ that good then, but I was trying my best, bless my heart, and I was just student too, watching everybody, and then just kind of fell into it too, and like just, because you have to like, you can't be like timid in this business, you gotta like go hard or go home, so that's kind of how it was, right? And one of the things I really noticed was your marketing. So I loved your flyers, and you always had some interesting names for your parties. It wasn't just like DJ SugaShay has 90s night. It was, tell us some of the names of some of your monthly parties that you used to do.
Let's see. My favorite party that I've thrown was called Hard Candy,
yes,
because I'm SugaShay. So, and I started DJing as a dubstep DJ, believe it or not. So Hard Candy was supposed to be the place where I could play all of the EDM that I was really into, dubstep. I was really into like ballroom, all sorts of just like kind of off the cuff, like underground electronic music. I had a party called Daisy Duke where I threw, that was like my hip hop night. I did a lot of throwback hip hop, mostly featuring female rappers. That was super fun. I'm trying to think of a crazier one, but those were two of my favorites.
Yeah, those are the two that like kind of ring a bell when I think of your name. And you did your own flyers, right, too?
Yeah, so my actual, the path that I thought I would take in life was actually art. I've been drawing since I was young. I went to high school for art and design, and then honestly, as soon as I graduated high school, I was just like, I'm not paying a ton of money to go to art school. I don't want to be in debt for something that might not make me money in the future. So I took a couple years off to work, and that's when I started falling deeper and deeper in love with music. It kind of happened like by accident. I mean, I had always loved music, but I never thought it would be a career move for me. So,
gotcha.
But honestly, I guess my two passions kind of fell in line with DJing, where I found that I could save a lot of time and money by making my own flyers for my events, have more creative control over the way that I was branding.
Yeah.
And honestly, once you get the hang of Photoshop, it's not a super hard program to learn. Illustrator as well. It's so much simpler and more streamlined to take control over your marketing and your branding and what you're putting out into the world, making sure it looks exactly the way that you want it to.
That is a great tip because it's all about image sometimes, and you want to make sure that the image that is being portrayed is something that you stand behind and that you believe in. Is that how you feel?
Basically, yeah. I mean, if you want something a certain color, make it that color. You don't have to wait like a week for someone to have enough time to get back to you with revisions. Just make it how you want to make it. There's plenty of tutorials on YouTube that'll show you how to design pretty much anything you want in the world.
And if they have any questions, can they hit you up?
I mean, it's not free, but sure.
So if you need some flyers made, then you can call Shayna, but she's not going to be giving out no classes, no master classes for DJ flyers, huh? Or maybe in the future,
Maybe
you never know.
Not yet.
So let's talk about some challenges as a female DJ, because sometimes people say that it is harder in the industry if you're a female to DJ. I personally have experienced that if you put in the work and you go hard, then you won't have so many challenges. What is your experience?
I've had a few interesting experiences because since I've been doing this for about 10 years, there's been a bit of an ebb and a flow. So when I first started to DJ, I definitely was a female DJ because there weren't a lot of women doing what I was doing. There were, and the women that were DJing were just like legendary women. There was kind of like, you had your Diamond Cuts and your Spinderellas, and then pretty much like a few girls who were, kind of killing it on the local scene. But there was no one in the middle. There was no one I could compare myself to or kind of like relate to when I first started out, which was interesting for me and kind of lonely. But really quickly, I started to find that around the time I started DJing, a lot of other girls were getting into it. So since I started, I've been a part of a lot of collectives of women DJs. I've always had support from other women, to the point now where saying female DJ is almost like a bad word. It's like, it's not something that we like to say anymore. Like, women that DJ are just DJs. They're not female DJs anymore.
That's a great point, and DJ Q wrote a blog about it, so make sure you check it out. And yes, it's funny because I was going to segue into that, so keep going.
Yeah, we're women that also DJ, just like men DJ, just like everyone across the spectrum of gender can be a DJ. You don't have to put the qualifier in front of DJ anymore, and I think that's most of the reason is just because so many people from so many different backgrounds have really stood behind what they were doing, what their message was, what their art was, and they did bring a level of quality to the craft that is undeniable and can't really be ignored.
I agree. Because I think like there was a stigma in the beginning that like, oh, the females were just a pretty face but couldn't really DJ. So when you then just, like you said, give them that undeniable talent, then it's just like you're one of the guys, you're one of the DJs, and nobody has to distinguish you. So how did you get your DJ name?
It's funny. So I've actually been thinking of changing it for like honestly years and years and years, but I can't. And the reason I can't change it is because it was gifted to me. And I don't know if that's how a lot of DJs get their DJ name, but specifically for me, my best friend and one of my first mentors, DJ Fish, or now he's referred to as a new name, he rebranded, Matthew Law. They both gave me, collectively together, they gave me my DJ name, SugaShay, after SugaShay Mosley, because he, was an amazing fighter. But I'm also just like very sweet. But I pack a punch. I've been known to get rowdy. So as nice as I am, as kind as I am, as sweet, approachable as I am, I will also like straight up curse you out. So that's where I got the name SugaShay.
I love it. And where can we find you on social media?
All of my socials are pretty much the same. Got to keep it cohesive for branding purposes. But Instagram and Twitter, I'm DJ SugaShay. So that's DJ SugaShay. And then Mixcloud, SoundCloud, it's just /SugaShay.
Awesome. So that's where you can find her, you can book her, and you can get flyers made, you can get her to DJ your party. Maybe you might want her to consult on how to have a successful party. But anywhere that you look on social media, you can find DJ SugaShay.